Welcome to the Bill and Bob Show.
Alright guys, we have our two fantastic customers. We have Bill and Bob. They are the owners of the Hudson Truck and the Studebaker. And you guys are relatively good friends, depending on the day?
Depending on the day.
So, we've done a lot on the Hudson Truck. We've been filming it the entire process. This one kind of got, not left on the sidelines, but we weren't able to exactly attack it how we wanted to when we were doing a bunch of filming. So let's dive into it a little bit now. Mostly with, what made you choose to go with this car, Bill?
I had never seen one.
A little confused when you saw it for the first time?
Well, not confused. I knew it was a Studebaker, but I had never seen a two-door hardtop Studebaker in the early 50s vintage. And that was the first front end that was different than the torpedo nose of the 49 to 51, which I was never a big fan of. I like this one, and
So how'd you stumble upon this car?
I was driving down the Cloverdale Road and I saw it sitting in front of a guy's shop, and as I drove by I went, well, that looks like a Studebaker, but nothing like I've ever seen. So I turned around and went back and I got a hold of the guy and he had it for sale, and we reached an agreement on the price,
And now it's here, and we've taken it all apart. There's hardly anything left that it showed up with.
yeah, not much.
Not much.
Rough.
I know, yeah, and we're changing that as well. So let's take a look inside the car here. You wanted something that was a little bit more on the cruiser side than a full-blown, in-your-face hot rod.
Yeah.
So, as you can see here, we've done the pictures of the first floor, then we soundproofed that, and then threw in a second floor. So he's got a little bit of weight here, but this thing's gonna be a real nice, comfortable, quiet cruiser. And where do you guys plan on taking these two once they're done?
Anywhere we want.
Exactly, that's the correct answer.
We drive our hot rods.
And that's how they're meant to be, man. That's why we build them to drive. So right now, Chad is working on the rear end. We are adjusting basically the entire rear fender. We're bringing it up a little bit. So now we're closing it all to meet the lines of the trunk. And yeah, there's just been tons and tons of welding on this. Chad, how many welding rods do you think you put through this thing already?
300.
So what's been some of the, not challenges, but what's been some of the more intricate parts of building this car?
Like any full big build, this car started with really nothing as far as the roof, the package tray area. Other than that, all the floor and inner structure was gone. So get the car back to square, back to somewhat even to where the doors fit, get it on the chassis, get the rockers made, and that way we have a square, solid foundation to then go with the nice, clean floor. So one thing that I like doing, that I had the opportunity to do with this car, is each side of the car between the trans tunnel and the floor is mirrored identical. So I could literally make one template on one side, go over, fit on the other, exact same fit. So that's made this car really nice to build, because we started with nothing. So
like I said, when it got back from Sandblast, there was almost nothing.
Yeah.
So we've had to.
So we've gone from there, and like you said, made the first floor, sound into that, made the first trans tunnel, and then went on with the second trans tunnel, second floor. So it's gonna be a really nice, solid, quiet car.
Yep.
Like you said, the rear quarters are being raised 2.5 inches in the back, about 1 inch in the front, pushed back about 1 inch. And that was all because it was done in a rendering and visually it looked correct. And now we got to do it because it looks correct and we're at that point. So.
And we'll post up a picture of the render right here so you guys can know what the final vision of this thing is. What motor are we throwing? This one's getting an LS, right?
An LS3, 525 horse.
So it'll have some scoot to it. Is it going to be faster than yours?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Bob.
You know, I'm just a poor guy, so all I do.
You know, this is from the guy with 9 hot rods in his garage.
Oh, we already know. We already went over all of them.
It'll get an LS3 also, but the 430 horse.
Yep. And I think he might have you on weight just a little bit.
I'm gonna get better gas mileage.
There you go.
If you believe that story, I've got a bridge in Meridian I'll sell you.
All right, so now let's dive into the Hudson a little bit. More or less the same story. There was a lot more of this truck when we got back from Sandblast. We've had to remake a few things. You've seen all the work we did on a hood. Unfortunately, we did have to find another one and kind of start from square one again. Justin's been hard at work on the rear. He's gonna have a really cool tailgate setup. Got storage in there. This is the only car we haven't talked about of yours yet. So, where'd you find it?
Well, it was about 5 miles from my house. I had talked to the guy at the Roadster show. I knew he was into Hudson pickups. And so I asked him if he had one. He says, yeah, I just got one out of Arizona. And he didn't act like he wanted to sell it, so I didn't talk to him about buying it or anything. But then my son sends me a picture of a Hudson pickup on Craigslist. And so I called, and it was the one that I figured it was. It was his. So I called him, and we made a deal, and
Now
the
it's
rest
here.
is history. This is supposed to be my wife's truck. She saw a Hudson pickup many years ago in Joseph, Oregon, and loved it. And she's wanted one ever since. She thinks we ought to have a truck. So
Well, there you go. Now you
Now
have
we
a
got
truck.
one.
So this one will also be black. Both of your cars will be black. Bob tends to have a history of black cars.
I like black.
I know you do. So if
That's
you
because he's colorblind.
That's black, isn't it?
So when we get both of these finished up, which one do you think is going to get finished before the other one?
This one?
No, that's awesome. These guys are going to take these two hot rods all over. We're going to get tons of pictures and stuff when these guys take them to hot rod shows when they start back up. Thank you guys for letting us build your cars. We cannot wait to give you exactly what you envisioned, plus some. And I know you guys are ready as all of us. We just want to drive them.
I just want to drive them. Yep, absolutely.
So,
Ready to go.
Yep. We're going to keep on trucking on. We'll keep the updates coming, and we will check back with you guys soon.